I'd like to explain what I'm doing. Putting my fucking Venturi back in on a brand new carby. Well, it's probably a year old. So, I lost the secondaries. I'm not saying that this is going to fix it, because I've blown the jets out thinking it was the jets. And I've, blown a mist out the top. Yeah. Anyway, and I've just changed this bowl cover, so I wanted to see the float level. And the float level's good too. I'm going to leave that one on there. That's off of an earlier one. This is normally just a blanking plate. Anyway. So, looking in the camera, you see that nut right there? Right there? That's a grub screw that holds the Venturis in. Well, it was loose. I have just managed to tighten it. But of course, brand new part, you'd never think to check, hey? And there's another one for the mains. I should check that. But this is even worse. So I just went digging around on a brand new carby, because I've got two spares. Well, both spoken for, but at the moment they're spares. To see whether I could get the angle of the dangle. Only to find that this one's fucking loose. And when the carby's off, you can undo this one, this one, this one. Relieve this spring prior. And wiggle it off of here, because this is your vacuum secondary, right? You can pull this out of the way and you can get to that really nice. I mean, you can get to the primary one here, which is loose. But all this shit's supposed to be done up from factory, and like, it's Chinese. It's Chinese. I'm not nobody to blame other than myself for buying Chinese shit. You know, if it had been a Japanese one, it probably would all been Loctited like they are and whatnot. And then I only found out, because it's really the first time I looked at it, I might never have opened this box, but this one's been damaged in transport. I mean, I got other fuel rails, it doesn't matter. Not the point. So, anyway, I also noticed with this one, it's got auto choke, which is all good. That's fine. But that plastic eye bone there, it actually doesn't allow it to move far enough to come right off of idle there. That adjustable nut there, which adjusts your RPM under said stages of choke, meshes, well, hits here. So I might have to take a bit off the back of that. So now that I know all this, I can go right through one of these and it'll be fine to run. But you just fucking buyer beware. They're $130 for a reason. And they don't give you a stud for here either. You have to rob that out of your old ones, which are Loctited in and are an absolute pain to get out. So I clamp the old ones in a vise and then turn the whole carby, and then I have had them break off before removing them. It's just, yeah. Anyway. So I'll have to go right through these two once I'm ready to put them on. One's designated for the Bluebird, and the other one was supposed to go on this 720 here. But we'll see. So I chucked that back in a box that it came in. Yeah. So yeah, I have to go through that one pretty well. And its friend, not happy though. I mean, it's bullshit. This sort of stuff only comes loose. High RPMs, and when you start getting into the hundreds of thousands of Ks department, like, I had one of these that sat at 8,000 revs all day, and that did come loose. But the car was a rally car. It took a hell of a beating. I've never had a brand new one on a ute that's just, it gets the guts revved out of it when it's pulling a heavy trailer and stuff like that sometimes, but it's very rare I push this thing past 5,000 RPM. It's very rare that I need to push this past 5,000 RPM. So, anyway, I mean, it could do with an overdrive. So I think I've got that as tight as I can get it. You can see where I've tried to whack it in a bit, trying to make sure it was seated at the bottom, which I think it is. And that one I should probably check too. So yeah, and the camera's my looky device, obviously, but yeah. No, that's not a vacuum leak. That goes up to the control for the hot air intake, because otherwise you do get carby ice. And there's nothing worse than not being able to drive the ute in the morning. So yeah. Alright, I'm going to mess around with this a bit more.